go. Okay, we're going to get started. Procedure is we're going to say hello to you in the beginning and give you a couple updates, and then we will get into a couple quick updates of the COVID system, the opening of Panama, stuff like that. So introductions, who are we? Let's let
first
Megan
of all,
go first.
it's such a bad news.
I
We're gonna
know.
say today.
Can you start with that?
After introductions.
After introduction, we'll
Then
tell
we
you the
have
bad news.
news.
The bad
Yes.
news is so bad.
Yeah, horrible news. Yeah.
So we'll start with me. I heard there was an uproar that I wasn't here on the last call.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
so
upset.
sorry. But I'm Megan, operations director, and I'm originally from Philadelphia area, USA. I came here as a Peace Corps volunteer in February 2018, met these guys, decided to stay, and I love getting to share on the tours everything that I've learned living all over Panama and really getting to know the Panamanian culture. So, move on.
Rod? Oh, I get to go.
There you go.
My
We'll
name's
switch
Rod
it up.
Larabee. I'm originally from Vancouver, Canada. Moved here coming up 9 years and never looked back. Love Panama. Love what it had to offer me. I moved here in my mid-40s. I ran an online business. I still do some of that today. Obviously, mostly you're here because that's of an online business. And so I've done that and met Oscar my first year here. Kind of saved my butt. It's a story you'll probably hear from me on the tour, but what I was going through. I was one of these guys that packed my bags, bought a one-way ticket, and said I'm moving to Panama, and got in trouble here. But Oscar saved my butt and became a good friend, and he was the guy in Panama, in Boquete at the time, for helping expats, and he continues to be that today. So I partnered with him. We did some local tourism for a few years, but always had the idea when my other career was over, we're going to do the small group, semi-private and private tour business. And that's what we started doing. So your turn now.
First of all, thank you every single of you to take this time to share with us and to say new faces. My name is Oscar Pena. I'm originally from Cali, Colombia. I left Colombia in 2006 and I was studying hotel and tourism management. I left first to Costa Rica between 2006 and 2009, and I got here in Panama in 2009, August 12, 2009. When I got here, I have a lot of things to figure it out, and even that I speak the language, everything was new for me. So I went through in a hard way, more difficult, let's say, situations to get my residency, drive license. So what it made me think is, if that was difficult for me that I speak the language, how difficult would that be for someone else that just came here, don't speak the language? So that's the idea that came up in my head, it just popped out. And I'm a person that I appreciate to, I hope to be helpful. So I started doing private expat services in 2011. Then I met Rod, and then we started our business, and it's been here 11 years now. Happy to be here. What else can I tell you? And during the tour, I'm gonna be your driver. I'm gonna be your bodyguard. I'm gonna be your consultant. I'm gonna be your bartender. I'm Jack for all the trip. I'm a little bit all, and Mama Goose. First of all, Mama Goose. So one thing I can promise you is I will take care of you, every single of you that come with us, and we'll do the same thing, and
We'll feel like a family by the end of the tour.
Oh yeah,
That's
but
for sure.
usually happens on day 3 or day 2.
Okay, after Oscar's intro, our time here is up. Thank you for joining us. No, just kidding. You're going to give the big announcement. What's the big announcement? And then I'm going to read the quick directive of what's happening over the next 2 months.
Well, it's such a bad news happening here in Panama. We just found out that on October 12th, every curfews and tourism will be open and curfew will be lifted up. So that's the most amazing news that we just received 3 days ago. We're moving forward to open the economy in Panama. Our RT number is below 1. Everyone, potentially we're gonna be still wearing some masks here in Panama, which is fine, but we'll be able to offer our expertise and be able to receive you guys And some of you, they're ready about this, well, pretty much some of you are already booked to come here. Some of us like, did a tour. One of us is here, Bridget. We're hoping her and her wonderful husband will join us and be part of the community. So what other news that I'm missing?
Some details.
Some details, because I just got the cover, but Rod is the brain of this
I will.
family.
I forgot to bring something up because I have two announcements to make. One good thing, you guys have been, like some of you guys have been on these calls every month for the last few months, and the Panama keeps moving the dates back. This is a little different what happened this time. This is where the government partnered with private enterprise, the hotel industry, the tourism industry, the manufacturing industry, and they all came together with these rollout dates of what we're doing. So we don't expect these to be moved back. And we expect as a country, and they're working together, that we're going to meet these goals. And for the last 2 months, Panama has been lower cases on a per capita type basis, lower RT number, and our ICU beds have never gone into the danger or the red zone, as they call it here. And they've actually been very stagnant and stable over the last 2 months. That's why they decided we can do this. So it's a slow rollout. September 7th, they're opening up things like construction and the canal zone and stuff like that. On September 14th, they're releasing all the mobility restrictions in the provinces that are highly restricted right now, Panama and Panama West. November 21, they are sports are restarting without the crowds. I think that's around the world. November 28th, they're reactivating public retail trade, the shopping centers, restaurants. They're all going to be, like, we all know what it is. Restaurants will have 50% of the tables. Stores will, there's going to be a lineup outside if there's too many people outside, but they're all doing that. Our national airline, which hasn't flown since the end of March, reopens on September 28th. It's not that big of a deal. It's between David and Panama City, basically. And then beach activities, all that stuff opens. And over 12, all curfews and quarantines across the country are lifted. And the airport opens to tourists, hotels, motels, lodging, tourist activities, all stuff like that. So it's a good plan. We probably could have done it in a shorter time, but I think 2 months to do it is fine. We have our tours booked for October and November. I've just gotten total 100% confirmation. People are excited to come. There may be, like Oscar said, we may have mask in public place restrictions here. If we do, we'll have the mask in our vehicle, and you go outside, you're going to put a mask on. Big deal. It's not the end of the world. And we might take your temperature every morning at breakfast. But besides, that's about it. Yeah.
One of the beautiful things is that since only 10 people in the van, it's very easy for us to control that and to make sure our operation is safe, not just for everyone involved in the tour, but also for the rest of the communities we're going to visit. Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing.
Like Oscar will keep you safe during the tour. He always cleans the van at night. We're just going to use different type of sanitary stuff. We may not be taking you to museums if they're not open, but we will find other activities to fill with whatever you guys feel is right. We have small groups, so you guys can decide what you want to do, and that's the best part about it. But this whole call is not just about our tours, of course. The other thing we wanted to announce on this call is an introduction of, I guess you can call it a sister company, okay? Now, we don't want to turn anyone off thinking you're coming on this call just so we could sell you a $2,000 tour. Okay, that's not us. I just posted something in the chat. I want you to open that and bookmark it. We are here for people that, many of you have been to Panama. You've decided it's your home. You're ready to move. You don't need our tour. Many of you already live here. Maybe you came on another tour, but maybe you got more questions. Maybe you got more services. We provide those services from here in Panama also. We can pick you up and your pet at the airport and make that a seamless, what could be the most stressful day of your life. I know a lot of people have done it. To have a smiling face like that, meet you at the airport with your dog and drive you to the place, drive you home to the place you rent and help you get through customs. I do all the paperwork for that stuff. So we have services like that. If you need to get a driver's license, we can take you there. We can, so a lot of people say, well, if I come on the tour, what's the difference? Big difference. If you come on our tour, from the day you book to the day you invite us over for the first backyard barbecue, we're there for you. It's a big difference, because the people that come on our tour, it doesn't end on the last day of the tour. We work with you through the whole process, and it doesn't cost you anything unless we have to drive to Panama City to pick you up with your dog, of course. But I mean, like, if you come here, and perfect example, we had a wonderful lady. She moved here in January, and I just sent her a WhatsApp message. Hey, I'm going to PriceSmart. I heard you say on the tour you love PriceSmart. Are you coming with me? Yes. Because if you come on our tour, you become part of our family, and we're going to hang around all the time. But we offer PriceSmart runs on Panama Expat Service, as you see on this side. And for a simple, small fee, we'll take you shopping. We got the big vehicles to do it. You can load up and do your PriceSmart shopping. But anyways, those are the two things we want to announce. We are very shortly going to get into the Q&A. So you see the chat box at the bottom, and you hover with your mouse over the screen, you'll see the chat. You can type your questions in there right now. I see people have started typing questions, or we're going to open up the lines to answer questions, for you to ask questions. But we got one more thing, because 10% of the emails I get, maybe it's more, ask me all the time, and Oscar gets this question all the time. What's the real estate like in Panama during COVID? What's the rental situation like? Are there vacancies? Are the prices lower? Are the prices higher? Well, when we started this company, we had to align with somebody. We didn't want to be all over the map and represent, because there's a lot of real estate companies here that are all about themselves. They're only they're only interested in you if you're buying a property today. So we found a company. The gentleman's on the call with us, Mike Petovich, his wonderful wife, Martha. Also, she runs a rentals and property management company in the Coronado area. Mike has offices across this country, 5 different offices. I think he's the most spread out real estate agent in Panama. He's also from the United States, which is very nice. I see most of you people here are North American. And honestly, it's difficult to deal with a real estate agent that doesn't speak a lot of Spanish. I'm not saying all Spanish real estate agents are dishonest. Absolutely not. There's some excellent ones here. But if you don't have an English office and an English agent, you're going to have some difficulties, because everything is done here in Spanish, all the paperwork and stuff like that. So I want to give Michael 3 minutes. 3 minutes, Michael. Michael will do it. Oscar could never do that in anything in 3 minutes. So just to talk basically where we are, pre-COVID, post-COVID. I want to hear both about real estate sales availability, because half of you that move here are going to buy sometime, and also rental availability. What are the prices like? Just give it in your own words, Mike. What's the real estate business like in Panama today?
Well, today is a day for optimism, because as you know, we've been literally sitting in the house for 5 months. And now they're finally going to start to open it up. So as a result of the fact that nearly everybody in the country was sitting in the house for 5 months, there's really been nothing going on. A lot of the people that were here that had already signed rental agreements for 6 months, or some even longer, they left. They went back to their home countries because they were uncertain about how things were going to shake out and how long it would take. And they took humanitarian flights back to Canada, back to the United States, some back to Europe. Like Rod said, my wife manages nearly 50 units here at the beach, and most of them are empty. However, the owners of those properties are pretty motivated. to entertain people like yourselves that want to come to Panama and rent for 6 months or maybe even longer. You definitely could get some very attractive rental situations right now. How long that will happen when the flood starts coming, the other part of the equation that Rod mentioned is post-COVID. We're very, very optimistic that it's going to be busy here. My phone's ringing off the hook and the emails, despite the fact that people can't come. They're sitting at home as well, looking online and making plans. I ask everybody, why are you considering coming to Panama, leaving the U.S.? Most tell me that it's either related to politics or economics. So it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. There's a lot of people that have just had enough, and there really a lot of people are looking at Panama. So how that's going to affect the market, of course, right now it's just a lot of people inquiring. When and if they start to actually come here and purchase things, then of course the market will stabilize and ideally go on back up. But for now, there are definitely some opportunities. It's a buyer's market. The average market time here is 2 years, so you can add the last 5 months to that. Sellers are very, very motivated. So that's really it. Like Rod said, we have 5 locations. We're coast to coast. I've been here for 13 years from San Diego. We're here to help.
Great.
Just like
I posted Mike's contact link in the chat, but don't worry, every one of you are registered for this call. Tomorrow, I send out the replay for the call for those of you that had to drop off or for those of you registered that never made it. I'll include all the links that I'm posting in the chat in tomorrow's email. I thank you, Mike. Oscar, you got anything to say about Mike? Good stuff, though.
Oh, that's actually a tough one to say good stuff about him. Oh my God. Mike is one of the most fun persons to be around. He cares about any person. He loves to do the soft sell, meaning like he cares about you. If it's something that is not worth it or good for you, he will tell you at sight, this is not good for you. According when he gets to know you, gets to fine. I love that we love it about him. He will protect you, him, and also all the people that work with him, like Joanne, Cherry, all his team, are very professional ethics. I have to say, I heads down to them, and I appreciate them. And yeah, it's beautiful. We have a friendship. Because for me, personally speaking, friendship, relationship has to come tight, closely with business. And this is a beautiful chemistry that we have in association with them. So yeah, there is other options, of course. There is other people that do a great job. We just love and trust him and his company.
Great.
Well, thanks. Thank you very much for
Yes,
your
you
kind words.
And we miss you, brother.
Yeah, are you
Yeah.
here next week?
I'm so looking forward to getting back up there.
Yeah.
I might be in Panama City next Friday.
Perfect. Okay, we are handing over the Q&A to Miss Megan, who's gonna
Get
try
into the
to-
questions.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the questions. If anyone has any live questions, they can ask them right now as Megan reviews the all the type questions in there. The list is getting longer.
Mhm.
But so if anyone wants to ask a question, you have to unmute yourself first. Otherwise, we can't hear you. Most of you are muted.
Okay. Well, you guys figure that out. We'll jump into the first question,
Yes.
Okay.
which is, how does Google Voice work, and can you make phone calls to the U.S. from Panama?
And who asked the
That's
question?
from Carl.
Carl. Great question, Carl. I'm going to take this because I'm the guy that has all the U.S. numbers here.
Tech expert.
It's complicated on the Google side because, first of all, you have to register that number while you're still in the U.S. with a U.S. cell phone. If you do that before you move here, yes, it'll work here. You and I have talked on the phone, or you and I, John, have talked on the phone. We're talking on a Google line. I actually use Google Fi, which is an actual SIM card, but I'm talking through the Google Voice app. So that works. The other option that works very good here is Skype. It's $5 for a US number, $3 for unlimited US dial. So it's $8 a month, works on the Skype app. I'm actually testing it right now because my Google Fi is $25 a month. So I'm testing the $8 version, and anyone who's talked to me in the last 30 days, you're talking to me on a Skype Live for $8 a month, unlimited calling to the US, and 1 to 2 cent a minute calling anywhere in the world. So
You still keep your phone?
Ron, I've got a question. What about using WhatsApp? It's free.
it is, but most people in the US don't know what WhatsApp is. Try to get them to connect and coordinate it. It just doesn't work. Like for me, for you individually with your family and friends at home, yes, WhatsApp is all you need. But if someone's trying to run a business or really stay connected, or they want to bring their number, you can take your cell number, Carl, and you can port it to Google Voice or Skype within 3 or 4 days. And you never have to tell anyone that you left the States. They're just going to phone you, you're going to pick up in Panama.
So you can port it over with Skype.
Yes, you can. Yep.
Great.
Mhm. Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
Hello.
Hi,
This is, Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué sopa?
So far, my friend.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah.
I learned that yesterday.
Yeah. Question from Mike. Question from Mike on rentals and so forth. What's considered to be the shortest rental agreement that you can make for, say, one of your properties? We know that you can do like maybe 6 months or something like that, but say if you wanted to come for like a month or month and a half or 2 months, is that viable?
Or 3.
Or 3.
It is. It just really depends on what time of the year. Because if it's close to the high season, it'll either already be booked or rented. So when did you have in mind? What month were you referring to?
Whenever the virus lets us.
Oh,
Probably like the beginning of the year, maybe January, February, March.
Okay.
Well, we're doing the tour. And
yeah, that's coming towards the end of the high season.
I think it's
So,
okay.
Oh,
So
you
when does
could-
low season start?
Well, usually, end of May.
Okay.
oh, when the rains
Coming
come.
year might be a little different though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know
In
what's
my opinion, since I've been working in tourism as well, high season usually is slow down, at least in this area, March. So middle of April, it becomes more available. A lot of snowbirds leave by middle of April and available jobs. Usually May becomes everything open. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mikey.
No, you're right.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Good to know.
Good to know.
We'll
Thank
be
you.
in touch.
So my suggestion, I highly suggest, if you're thinking to stay, then reach out to Mike. You guys can reach out to us according to best place potentially you might want to try first. And I will highly suggest to look for the options right now and try to book ahead.
Yeah, but well, if I can do the tour first,
No, I know.
decide on a location.
I know, it's just like,
Exactly. The location is a significant factor.
Right.
exactly,
Yeah.
because Coronado is, you gotta book in advance. Boquete, you in the clear. The other thing in Boquete area or Cherokee, you will have more options. But when it comes down to the beach area, like Coronado is prime.
For the snowbirds,
Uh-huh.
right?
Hey, can I make a quick announcement here?
Yeah.
I just noticed a ton of people joined. We have 80-some people on here. For those of you on Zoom, to unmute yourself, scroll down or touch your screen. You'll see the microphone button on the bottom left. If you're on a phone and want to ask a question, hit *6 because you're automatically muted when you join. So you hit *6, that'll unmute. You can ask a question. And anyone with background noise, please keep yourself muted. Thank you.
*6 to mute again.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. Alrighty.
Next.
Our next question is from Maxine.
Or you can just push the space bar to unmute.
That too, space bar to mute and unmute.
Didn't know that.
Maxine asks us, are driving tests in Spanish only? Oscar?
What? Sorry?
The driving tests,
Sorry, test.
are they only in Spanish or can you get them in English?
Spanish. Right now, it is, no, right, I mean, depends where you are.
Indeed.
In David right now, it's only Spanish majority of the option because I got a contact from our lawyer's office.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now, mostly it's in Spanish. There is a possibility in English, but it will be Spanish. However, if there is no option for English, we can figure that out for you. Well, you got me, you got her, two bilingual.
There are ways to still make it happen.
Yeah, there is always make a way to make it happen. So
Yes,
it is
yeah.
not a big deal.
If you have a current driver's license, you don't need to take a test.
Yes, unless, but we have to wait until the U.S. Embassy, if he is U.S. citizen, to open the embassy for those type of service to validate your U.S. drive license.
And I
As
got
it
that
is-
announcement today.
That is open?
No, September 12th.
Okay, September 12th. So if after September 12th, it will be back that service. Right now, it's not. So whoever wants to attempt to get a drive license in Panama, you have to start from zero, meaning you have to go to the school, you have to pass the test, and it will be mostly in Spanish. That's where it comes, Panama Express Service for offering that type of services for translation and interpretation. But after September 12th, it's not that far away. So
Yeah.
The biggest thing is if you're getting your driver's license validated through the U.S. Embassy, you want to make your appointment in advance.
Yep.
Because they're a little bit backed up there.
Yeah, they're only taking appointments through their website right now, too. So if you do have a license, try to get an appointment sometime in September. I had someone today that their license expires September 30th.
Ooh.
So I'm just waiting to hear back if he got his appointment or not.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. Mhm.
Next question. Oh, tell me last time a bodyguard was needed.
No. First, from Zikorin, if we come with a U.S. driver's license, do we need to get a Panamanian driver's license?
You have a time limit of 90 days to legally drive in Panama. After those 90 days, you have to either leave the country for a month, but if you have the intentions to stay here, you can apply residency. They'll give you a temporary residency, and you can apply for a temporary drive license through the embassy. So
I think they mean once you have your residency, you
And-
need to.
Yes.
Yeah, as soon as you have your temporary residency card, you must get a Panamanian driver's license.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it means you go to your embassy, whatever your country is, they authenticate your license. You go to the Saracen, how do I say it, Oscar? Saracen office?
Certracen.
Yeah, you go to that office in the city of your choice, you submit your documents, and you take an eye test and a ear test, and they give you a kind of a temporary license.
The eye test and the ear test is a piece of cake. It's actually
I
not
failed.
hard. Well, you're that.
Okay.
But, you know,
So is it correct that you can do that in David, or do you have to do that in Panama City?
the
Hi there, by the way.
Anna,
Hola, Anita. But the drive license you can get in David, but the
Okay.
letter from the U.S. Embassy to validate your U.S. driver license has to be in Panama City. So
Okay.
well, you do the two things in the same spot. And there is a Certracen office located in the area of Devil, that's what it's called, the area in Panama City, close by the City of Knowledge, where it's the U.S. Embassy. So you can get it done in one day. Yeah.
which is why we suggest you make an appointment in advance, because most people, if you're not staying in Panama City, you want to get it done right away when you fly in so that you can move on to your final destination.
Hi there, Greg here. Question, when I was in Europe, they accepted an international driver's permit, which you could get at AAA here in America. Is that also accepted in Panama?
Well, actually, in 1954, Panama did join that treaty, but they don't honor them here anymore at all. I did the same thing when I moved here 9 years ago, and I did show it, and I got laughed So you must have a valid license with that international driver's license. All that thing does for you is translates your valid license into the language of that country. So it does not become a permanent driver's license here for you.
Yep.
Excuse me. Could you go back to the question about the dog coming down for a month?
Not coming down from.
For 1 month?
Yeah, they said to get started. Could they bring their dog?
Anytime you bring a pet to Panama, you have to go through the same process. It's a long process. I wouldn't do it just to bring it down for 1 month and back. It would be more for permanent pets.
Well, it would be an introduction. But I know that there's a guy that picks up the dogs at the airport. I can't remember his name offhand. I used to live there, and he helps with the transport of pets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's lots of companies that do pet transportation. We also do, but that's usually for permanently relocating your pet.
Yeah.
Not.
I have some information on pets service if you're interested.
Yeah, those and the laws or the dynamic how it gets down the premise, also the requirements, it change a little bit every year almost.
Yeah, I got an article, very long, but it's very detailed on Retire in Panama Tours blog. Just go to retireinpanamatours.com, type in pets. The article will pop right up. It's a 2,000-word article, detail. I keep it updated every month, every step you have to do to bring a pet.
Would you please post that connection on chat?
Yes,
Sure.
I will.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
All right. Well, while Rod's doing that, we'll get to the next question, which is from Curtis. He would like to know about the need for a bodyguard.
Ooh. Well, I mean,
Hi, it's Kurt.
Curtis,
Kurt from
would you like
Chicago.
to explain?
Yeah, part of it was tongue in cheek because at the beginning of this whole thing, you know, one of the positions that was mentioned in addition to chauffeur and tour guide was bodyguard. I was just really interested in that. I live in downtown Chicago.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was just being a little bit extra silly, but there is no need for bodyguard unless you're a prime minister or president, and you know, but Panama is the most safe place. I'm saying bodyguard because I will protect you for anything, of course. Not that I'm a bodyguard because I'm not, but I was just being more silly. So just to clarify that.
Yeah, let's just jump.
I just prefer to call myself Mama Goose.
While we're talking safety, I'll say that as a single woman, foreigner traveling around the country for 2 years, living by myself, using public transportation, I've never felt safer. I've always felt really comfortable in Panama.
I lived right downtown Panama City, right in the bar, restaurant district, and I would walk home from a restaurant at 11, 12 o'clock at night by myself, 5 blocks. Never even be concerned.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Manuel. A chat, a great link for you, because this is what I found years ago when I was researching Panama. On a crimes per capita per 1,000 people, from the worst countries, USA is 24, Panama is 64. So that kind of gives you an angle of, and trust me, every crime in this country is reported. If someone gets their barbecue stolen, there's going to be an entire police force in front of that neighbor's house the next day because of it. All these crimes are reported. So it is safer, but don't get crazy about that.
Yeah.
Like, do your due diligence. Explain some of that.
Be street smart always.
Always.
You know, don't put yourself in a situation you don't need to. Like, you know, walking by yourself with wearing a Rolex or a gold necklace and then in the middle street and Panama City or anywhere, it's just not smart. You just stuff like that. But other than that, just be cautious, you be responsible, and you identify your surroundings, and there is nothing to be worried, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the safest countries of the Americas. So.
Yep.
Well, let me jump in there, guys. It's someone that is a bodyguard that likes some work. You don't need it in Panama. I've lived there 10 years, and it's safe. Panama is one of the safest countries that's very Christian, It's nothing like Costa Rica. It's nothing like Colombia. People think that Latin American countries are all the same. It's not. Panama is one of the safest places, especially Boquete. But overall, I think it's safer than most of the cities in the United States.
Yes, sir.
And Ralph's been working in security here for how many years?
Our company's 15 years old. I've been here 11. So I've been
I
running
won't
security.
give you any
details due to privacy. Ralph's a great friend of the three of us. I just saw your picture there. He protects some of the biggest communities in Cherokee area. He knows everything about security. He speaks at our events, so telling people what to do, what not to do, how to stay safe. It's a pleasure to have you here, Ralph.
And he is the guy you don't want to mess with.
Yes.
On top of that.
We're all good. But no, come on down and enjoy Panama. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
I'm at Las Lajas at Oscar's friend's place. I just finished my 2-week quarantine because I arrived on the 12th. So I'm coming back to Boquete on Sunday.
All right, let's get a plan for a coffee, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, we have the question about immigration right now in Panama. Is it open if you're here? Is immigration happening?
Is the immigration? Yes, immigrations are being processed a little slower than before. Our lawyer has been working with many people. Some people on the screen that you see here, I won't mention names. Things are being processed, and when they get here, this is the thing. You have to be here to apply. So you can't start the process early and tell your lawyer, apply for me. When I get there, I'll sign. No, you have to in person go into the immigration office with the lawyer once you get here. But immigrations that were in process have now started up and are being completed. So people that have temporary cards can come to Panama because their permanent ones are now done.
All righty. Jean would like to know where we are located.
Oh, in Rod's house right now. Sometimes we're in Rod's house, sometimes Oscar's house.
We're next door neighbors, but we're in Boquete.
Boquete.
Yeah.
To be more specific, in Alto Boquete.
Yeah.
Which is the David side of the country. We're about 30 to 45 minutes from David.
You give me a Ferrari, 10 minutes. No, 5 minutes.
Oscar and I both live in very Panamanian neighborhood. Like all of our neighbors are Panamanians. Nothing fancy for the homes, but the lots are beautiful. We each have a 1/4 acre lot. We have a little fence between us with a gate that our dogs jump back and forth and play all the time. We've got fruit trees throughout both places.
Yeah.
We both have like 1,200 square foot 2-story homes. And we pay between $400 and $500 a month rent.
So expensive. It's so expensive. I don't know.
Can't handle it.
Yeah, I can't handle it.
All right. Karen would like to know about the incidence of fires in Boquete and surrounding areas.
Talking bushfires or house fires?
Well, house fires, mostly never. It has to be like extremely accident or electrical, irresponsible, something. It's not like, because all the houses in Panama mostly are built with concrete, not wood. So that being said, it's way more difficult to that for a house fire. It is not impossible, but it's not like, now we do have in Panama during the country in the dry season some wildfires. That it happens, but it usually is controlled by the firemen.
Yeah, I've never heard yet of a wildfire in Cherokee destroying a bunch of personal property.
No.
Yeah, it's only the dry season, January, February, March, because we get 160 inches of rain in the other season, so nothing's going to burn. So yeah.
In the highlands here, it's very wet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not very common.
Yeah, it happens usually is in the lower areas near to the beach when it's more drier. But usually when there's some properties around, they keep all the bushes or the grass low. So if it's a fire, doesn't spread that much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, to Ron.
At least you're not like California. We got over 500 fires going on.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
We don't have fires. We don't have.
But it's only 105 right now, so.
Yeah, we don't have hurricanes, so you guys should really move here.
Yes.
Yes.
Although it's been wet for the last week, because with those 2 hurricanes going to the Gulf, only 2020 could give us dual hurricanes, we did get the remnants of the moisture of that. So it's been wet for the last week.
Yeah. Well, in a year, usually we get 1 month, a month and a half, hard rainy season, and it can be August, it could be September. Usually it's October, but this year was August.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Ron is asking, did you say the quarantine restriction was lifted in October? Yes.
Yes. Starting September 15th, actually. It's on September 15th, it goes only to Sundays, because right now it's multiple days in Panama and Panama West, and it's weekends here.
Yeah.
And then all curfews and quarantines are lifted on August 12th.
October 12th.
October 12th, thank you.
Excuse me, I just wanted to ask, I came in late, but Ralph, aren't you the one that owns a security company that handles like Los Molinos and someplace else?
Valle Escondido, yeah. So the same company their friend Ralph managed is responsible. One of the two main gated communities in near Boquete is Valle Escondido and Los Molinos. And Ralph, what other areas are you responsible to take care of?
We do consulting for some of the larger contractors like AES Panama and restaurants, but we focus on larger gated communities. And I don't really expand up Boquete because I love it. I want to live there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ralph. And
You're welcome.
Where do I know you from? I used to live in Boquete. Rod.
Oh.
Where do I know you, Carol? Carol Newsom. I know your name, Carol. I can't see your face though.
I can recognize the voice.
I just had dental surgery today, so we don't want to advertise that.
Are you involved in one of the nonprofits here?
Pardon? No, I used to live in Boquete, and I was involved with the Amigos de.
Of course, I adopted Chiquita with you. You brought Chiquita to my house 7 years ago.
You got Chiquita.
Yeah, she's 9 now.
You want to? Oh, if you want a Chiquita, I mean, she's right there in the other room.
Yeah. Yes, Carol. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. I'm glad to see that you're doing these tours.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping to come back and visit again, but it got a damper on it from the COVID.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, for the BJBF.
Yeah.
Oh, what a sweet reunion.
Yeah, what a beautiful coincidence right now. Well, Carol, you make sure stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll hope to meet you.
Well, I worry about all you people down there too. It looks like you've taken a very good proactive stance down there with the COVID.
We try to do our best.
Congratulations.
All right, we're gonna move on for everybody else. Greg would like to know, what about coming to Panama as a snowbird for 3 months of the North American winter per year? That's very popular.
It's very popular, very common, very feasible. Mike, he has tons of clients and friends that comes through the months of November, December through March, right, Mikey? So it's very feasible. It's very common. And yeah, I mean, some people are just down to deal with the shuffling snow in the winter and just want to spend, instead of shuffling, just shuffle the sand by the ocean, catching fresh red snapper and eating red yellowfin tuna, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, you'd have to think about certain details like insurance. You can't get full insurance here unless you're 6 months at least out of the year.
Yeah.
So you'd have to look into some kind of international insurance or gap insurance.
Yeah, well, for 3 months, you won't treat as a resident because you need a little more than to become resident to be here, and also to have benefits of the health insurance over here in Panama.
Okay.
What else?
This is a kind of a specific question about real estate from Lynn and Wendy. On a $250,000 purchase of a home, what would be an estimate of buyer's closing costs?
That will be.
We're going to leave that one to Mike.
Yep.
Yeah, that would depend on if there was a corporation involved. Often you can buy a property that's already in a corporation, and that would save you some money. You just change the board of directors. If you have to form a corporation, it would make the fee a little bit higher. So I think that you could reasonably expect between $1,500 and $2,000. That's assuming the worst case scenario, you have to get a corporation involved.
Great. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Maggie.
I keep seeing faces I know. Hi, Karen.
Yeah.
Mike, could you elaborate a little more about a corporation? Do corporations own some of the houses versus a private owner, or you know what I mean? Or,
When Panama first got on the radar with North American foreigners, they would come to international living or live and invest overseas conferences. And one of the speakers that would always be there would be an attorney who would immediately tell you all the benefits of having a corporation or foundation and asset protection. And looking back now, I mean, everybody did it. I did it. It sounded great. We all felt like we were moving to another country and we're like James Bond or something. And we had offshore bank account and offshore corporation. And really looking back at the end of the day, I'm not sure that that was entirely necessary. But to answer your question, yes, many properties are currently in a corporation because the person who originally bought the house, like I did, put it in a corporation. There are pros and cons. I would definitely speak to the attorney and apply your personal situation and take the advice of the attorney.
Usually you want to check if Mike can correct me if I'm wrong. Check with the lawyer, hopefully with the tour or lawyer a very much expertise to check out the background of the corporation. If the corporation has some liabilities, it has some. That's one of the things. That's why we come in. That's why we have the team we have. Yeah. Because no matter what the investment, you will taken care of. We're watching your back. So either
I think more importantly, Oscar, we take things for granted in North America because we know what the typical remedy is for a situation that comes up, and we just assume everybody else uses that same remedy.
Yeah.
Here in Panama, they just simply don't. So when challenges come up, we just think, oh, well, we would just do this. Well, that's not how it works here. So it is good to have a network of people that you can say, what happened when you tried this? What did you do when you did this?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's important to do that.
Thank you, Mike.
Sure.
All righty.
Moving next.
Deborah would like to know if they will get written info during the tour.
What? Written.
Yeah, written.
You got this beautiful book that Megan redesigned for me. I started it. It was full of spelling mistakes. So during the tour, you get a welcome package. So I'm not going to tell you what it is. There's over $100 of goodies in there, but you get this really thick book that every day of the tour, places for you to put notes. At the end, all the contact information. You can place for you to keep all the business cards and write down the names of people you meet because you're going to meet a bunch of other expats at dinner and stuff like that. It's got maps of throughout Panama and facts about every city we visit. So yes, you get a lot of information on the tour.
Plus these two smiles at the airport.
Yeah.
And you'll have all of our contact information if there's anything you forget. Who was that lady?
Yeah, we always create a WhatsApp
Just
group,
call
which
us.
is so exciting. We got WhatsApp groups going from 2 years ago, and everyone's friends now because our groups are 8 to 10 people. They're never any bigger than that. Actually, our maximum 8. We've done as little as 4, but they're typically average 8. Yeah. And everyone becomes friends, and we have little WhatsApp groups. And
Bridget or Donna cannot confirm that. They cannot confirm that.
I see 1, 2. I got 3 people on this front screen here that I know are moving here that have taken our tour or used our services that we're in contact with every week right now. They're not here yet, but we're helping them through the process. And we're okay. Have you seen this rental? Do you want to look at this? Can we help you look at this property? Can we do this for you? So. Yeah, so that's what you get on our tour.
And even if it's not work related, it's sometimes in a group pops like a, how's everyone doing?
Oh yeah, we always do that. Yeah.
Or just share a
Holidays and
city
birthdays.
photo. So we try to do our best to keep in contact with our peeps for sure.
All right, from Carl, how will pre-flight COVID testing be done? They've been requiring a 48-hour test result, and you can't get that in the U.S.
Carl, is there not places like private clinics in the U.S. you can go to get that 24-hour test result? I know
Places
I know
Places like what? Places like what?
like private clinics where you can go to get and pay to go get a COVID test and get the results within 24 hours.
I don't know.
Because they are allowing antigen tests, which are both the Abbott Lab 2 new tests that are out, which is the fingerprint 10 minutes.
It kind of depends where you are in the U.S. and
Like
it depends on the
swab.
type.
They're not
lab.
to the swab.
Yeah. It's actually doing, besides, sorry to interrupt you, besides the finger, they actually, I mean, we just get a test.
Yeah, it's crazy in Panama. We got tested, and we will 2 days before the tours that we take everyone on. We're committed. If you have to, I'm going to be stuck with a needle.
Yeah.
But they did the actual draw blood.
Yeah, they did.
And we had the results in
48 hours.
Well, I haven't had the
test. Is that acceptable?
I'm sorry?
The blood is an antibody test. Is that acceptable?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, the antigen test they are accepting that.
Really?
Antigen.
But I must say, in the United States, many places you cannot get a 24-hour actual PCR COVID test.
Well,
right.
And I don't think the antibody tests are I know they're not as effective.
Yeah.
I've already talked to my October groups. They might have to adjust their schedule by 1 day and stay overnight in Houston or whatever city is the last leg of their tour. And then in the major cities, then find a lab that can do a 24-hour COVID test. Yeah. If you book a tour, we're going to work with you, and I'll sit on the internet and I'll find that lab for you.
Yeah.
Because now, the Abbott tests are just the finger one, and I got a whole list of cities in the U.S. Someone asked me for that today.
Yeah.
That provide that test that you get results within 12 hours.
Great, thank you.
But you
Say,
might
Rod.
stay overnight somewhere before you trip.
Rod?
Hey, who called my name?
Patrick.
I did. Yeah, I got two questions, if I may. One is, are shots required at all before you fly in for your tour?
No.
And the other quick question here is, I'm scheduled to come in on the 21st tour.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, are there only certain flights coming in that, they must come in at different times, right? I mean, do you wait until everybody's there that's scheduled?
No, we go back and forth, back and forth. If we need a second driver, we bring one.
Oh, okay. Oh, and I got one more question.
Yeah, there could be a 30-minute wait if we're waiting for someone that we know is on time. Because we
All
try.
right, one other quick question to your bodyguard friend.
Yes.
Is he hiring?
Bodyguard.
Sorry, just
No,
The other guy who does it for a living. I can't remember his name.
Oh.
We'll see.
I'm
if
just
he's
the
still
undercover
on.
bodyguard.
Ralph might have popped off here.
He's just having a horrific time at the beach right
Yeah,
now.
he's at the beach, crappy internet.
Yeah.
He is.
Oh, okay.
I
The
also-
reason I was wondering is because my son does that for a living also. He's an MMA fighter and he's a professional. He teaches firearms safety and I thought, well, maybe take it.
Ralph also, he provides assistance as sermon about guns. He's very involved in the force here in Panama gun laws. So if you, for some reason, you want to import or access to a gun here in Panama, he is the guy.
Yeah, he's
You
the guy
need to
we'll
talk-
connect you with. So.
Yes, because he is very updated the information, real information, and what it is possible, what is not possible. So he's your man, and then we're more than happy to share his info with you.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Okay.
All right, next question.
Next question, can you see it?
Is the February tour full? If so, will you be?
Okay, announcement, folks. If you didn't see the email near the end of this call, I'm making an announcement just for you folks that took the time to be here. We have a second tour in February that's not known to the public and will not be till 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. As soon as it's available, it will be sold out. I am going to post the link in the chat at the end of the call. If any of you guys want to come, that's the one to book. You got to pay a deposit. That deposit's fully refundable or changeable within 40 days, 45 days of the tour. I forgot to mention that. That was my third announcement.
Oh,
That was a big one because I had a bunch of people reply that said they're I hope that's not the only reason they came on the call, so they could get that tour. So we're putting you ahead of the backup list, everything. So we're going to post that very shortly. A special link that's not public right now, that you'll be able to book a tour February 4th. Otherwise, we are booked until July. So there could be some spots open, but I was thinking there might be some spots come open in August, November, December, but it looks like everyone who made commitments is keeping them. So
I have a question. If you've already booked for your tour and say May, like us, can we move up to this new February date that you're talking about?
I don't want you to have to put out any money. So from the time I make the announcement in the next 30 minutes, you need to send me an email. Rod, I want to be on that February tour because this is first come, first serve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we'll make your May spot available, which is also sold out. So it just seems there's so many people that want to come now, but a lot of people don't want to come until next year now. They want the COVID thing to settle down. There's different types of people out there, and we're willing to deal with you all. So I've had some people in October that said, hey, I don't want to go to April now. I want to wait till this crap settles down. Perfect. You're in April. I'll move someone else to October. So yeah. Who is asking me that call? That question?
Jennifer Umbaugh.
Oh, Jennifer, there you are. Okay, I just couldn't see you. Yeah.
I'll be traveling with Christine Smith.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, from Janine and Paul, can we drive a rental with only our U.S. license while exploring the country? Options.
Yeah, if you're on the 90 days period as a tourist visa, you can.
90 days, yeah.
90 days. Currently, the tourist visa is 180 days. Have to make it that clear. But your driver's license is only valid for 90 days.
And what do we call that? Panama style.
Panama style.
It's one of those Panama styles.
It's been years.
Exactly. So this thing it doesn't make sense, but this is what, like here in Panama, or most Latin American countries, and tell me, I know this.
Yeah, he knows that.
There is no black and white. There is a lot of gray. So
in other words, we can
one
drive
of those
long enough to see some
gray situations is like 90 days. You can do that, but you are allowed to do this for 100 days. But
yeah, because it was 2009 when they changed the law here that tourists can stay from 90 to 180, but they didn't bother changing the driver's license law.
Exactly.
And they still have it.
Yep.
So it does screw up a lot of people that want to stay here for 4 or 5 months every year.
Yep.
Because you can't get a license unless you apply for residency. So what they do is they have to go to Costa Rica and back.
In a amount of time. Or sometimes they go even to Colombia for people that want to be more adventurous and go to Colombia.
Yeah.
Short flight, 45 minutes.
And they get a new stamp on their passport. Good, I can drive for 90 days. You can't do that for your residency anymore to stay here, but you can do that for your driver's license.
Yep.
Just leave for 3 days. Yeah.
Alrighty, Ed and Wendy would like us to explain some of the microclimates in Boquete.
Ooh.
Can we call Sherry on for that one, if she's able and willing? No,
Who is Sherry?
she's not
Well,
willing.
I'll tell you.
I didn't see Sherry.
I'll tell you.
There she is.
So the weather here, sometimes I like to call it bipolar. Why is that? Because in 5 minutes can go from sunny, cloudy, foggy, rainy, and all of that.
Back to sunny.
And back to sunny. So, but that is the reason why Chiriquí province is responsible to one of the most expensive, exquisite, and delicious coffees in this world. So there is a reason why. But
in short, if you're up in the mountains, it's going to be colder.
Yeah.
and rainier.
Yeah.
And the closer you get down to David, away from the mountains and downtown Boquete, the warmer it's gonna get.
And more humid.
Yeah.
Because of
but the microclimate changes, like we might have poor down here in Alto Boquete. The distance is only 5-minute drive to downtown, and it will be here foggy, full rain, and downtown will be sunny.
Yeah.
Clear sky. So the microclimates are very extreme.
Like that's 4 kilometers away.
Yeah.
And it'll be extreme.
Yeah.
I've done that before. I want to go. I go for a walk every day. I try to walk 10,000 steps. You know,
It's wild.
Supposedly it's supposed to help. It'll be pouring rain here. Like I'm talking flooding. I'm talking about people in canoes in the drainage ditches. That much water. And I say, oh, sorry, I just drive downtown. Okay, it's sunny. I'm going to go for a walk. So,
yeah.
But that's part of the beauty, you know. And in some areas in Panama, it's drier than others. The highlands of Chiriquí.
You just have to experience for a while.
Of course, yeah.
When you move here, go spend some time. You're going to end up with friends in different areas, like we all have. You go sit up in the mountain in Jaramillo, Alto Jaramillo. You might love it up there, but I tried it. I rented a house there for a year. Didn't like it. For me, it was too cold. It was too wet. It was too always socked in. So that just wasn't the climate for me. So.
Yeah. So yeah, microclimates can be. It depends how you feel. It can be as beautiful. It can be as crazy. Crazy beautiful. I will say that.
A lot of variety in one little district of Panama.
Yeah, it keeps life interesting for sure.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Sure.
What else?
Alrighty. Any other questions? Let's see.
Quick question, guys. Can you hear me?
Sure.
Yes.
Hi, Deborah.
This is Deborah and Kevin from Houston. Thanks for the info as far as, yes, we'll get the wonderful book from the tour. I can quit making myself crazy, make copies of everything I think I need. I've read a couple of articles, and one of them says that coming to Panama, your visa is 90 days. It gets extended to the 180. Then after that, you have to leave for a month.
Yeah.
But then I read another article that says you leave for the weekend. That doesn't sound quite accurate.
Okay, so legally, as it standards in the law of migration of Panama, you need to leave for 30 days. You need to leave to international.
Legally, it's your home country.
Yeah, legal to home country.
Yeah.
They're flexible. You can go, let's say, to spend a month in a near country. A lot of people do it. But it's not the right thing.
When you're flying.
The law changed in 2017.
Yeah.
The law up to that point was you had to leave the country for 3 days. And what they found out here, they had tons of permanent tourists living in Panama.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But they don't want permanent tourists. If they end up, they can't buy health care here. So if they end up sick or in a hospital, they get. Panama's a kind country. If you end up in regional hospital, they fix you and bill you later. But then they had all these people leaving the country after and not paying their bills.
Right. And I understand that's a major problem in Costa Rica as well.
So
during the 180-day visa, that's an adequate amount of time to get all of the process going for permanent.
Yeah, that takes about 120 days to get your permanent residency.
Okay.
And they can get you an extension if it's still in, because you get your temporary residency that's good for 1 year within the first 3 weeks.
Oh, great. Okay.
And you can get a multi-entry visa with that.
So you can go back and forth. You can start doing one-way flights because you have your temporary visa.
Yep.
Okay. Great. Thank you, guys.
Right.
You're very welcome.
So they wanted to cut down basically on the border runs to Costa Rica.
Yeah, border runs to Costa Rica and permanent tourists.
When you're flying, it's very useful.
Makes perfect sense.
Especially that in this country, you can get a permanent visa for $2,500. Come on, dude.
And it's so easy. It's so affordable, so easy. I mean, let me tell you, I lived in Costa Rica for 3.5 years. It's not easy at all.
They want $50,000, $100,000.
Oh my God, that is
crazy.
Yeah, not to say that anything about it. I love Costa Rica. It's beautiful,
great country.
It's beautiful, and I have learned so much. It was, but it is not easy to become resident there.
Alrighty, we have a question from Polk. Before buying property, I plan to rent for a few months beginning in March, April 2021. When should I begin looking for a rental?
Depends on the location. If you're moving close to March, let's say if you're going to the area of Coronado, close to Panama City, you might want to check availability beforehand and reserve. If you want to rent in areas like Cherokee, you'll be more in the clear to have more options. If you're gonna be in Pedasí area, yeah, probably you'll be good options. But I know for sure that because Coronado is snowbirds love to go a lot to the area of Coronado, and it's very high demand.
January, February, March for high season.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah.
Things will start.
Could you say that one more time? I missed you. The plan is to get like a condo or something in Panama City. So I'm just trying to get an idea when should I start looking if I wanted to start living there sometime in the April, May time frame.
I think city's fine.
Oh, Panama City, you have plenty of options. Yeah. Panama City, you'll be in the clear.
It's not as touristy. They don't really have a huge high season and low season.
No, the beautiful thing about Panama City is they have built so many condos. You actually have plenty of options.
Prices are good now too. I've seen Balboa front stuff. Balboa is the #1 street that's like Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen $1,100 stuff that 2 years ago was renting for 17.
Yep.
So.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Very welcome.
Not like you're not going to get deals like that in Coronado and Boquete, but in Panama City right now it seems to be some pretty good deals happening.
Yep.
May I ask a second question?
You may ask a third. If
This is Jennifer. I'm interested if there are beach communities near Coronado, not in Coronado itself, that are more reasonably priced for rental. And I was wondering if Michael had any information about, average rental costs for living in a beach community near Coronado.
Well, again, it would range depending on how near the beach and how big the unit was, but I would say a range. You could likely get in as low as $700 on up to $1,500 if you were to say go to Gorgona or some of the smaller beach communities going further away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
We sent the email to Rod about changing our date. We're already there.
Beautiful. Yeah. I can't count that until
It's in your inbox.
Thanks, guys.
All righty. William would like to know if we offer services without taking the tour. Can you buy an info package? Right. That's part of Panama Expat Services.
Yeah.
Okay, because the reason why is because my sister actually lives down there, and we've already been, so we know the area that we want and that. Barb Bradley, Pan Pacific.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, you know Barb.
Sure. What about her?
Yeah.
Cabinet.
No way.
Oh, yeah, we love
Yes.
Barb.
Oh my God, yeah.
Sure, you don't need a tour. Go to PanamaExpatService.com.
Write that down.
I've got that.
Okay, great.
All the services outside of a tour.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Because we're planning on coming down in December for a few months.
Oh, we're going to go. We're actually filming Barbara next week in the new showroom.
Yeah. That's what we're doing episode about their shop.
Oh, they're breaking up. Or did we? Are we breaking? Hey,
Seeing
guys.
all of you. Sorry, we missed all that.
Oh, sorry. We just sorry. We're working on publishing a video that we did to promote Barbara's business, but also on the streets. So we're very excited to hopefully.
Yes, I've heard all the stuff that she has planned and what she's got going on. So
yeah.
But sorry, like we got almost 100 people here. These folks, it's William, and I'm sorry, your first name is? Oh.
They're freezing.
Okay, Are they freezing? We freezing? Are we gonna have to?
No,
bring
we're
on
not
some-
freezing
No,
because
we're
we can
not.
see everybody
okay.
else.
Oh, okay. They're just freezing. Panama.
We're from Chilliwack, BC.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I'm from Vancouver, by the way.
Yeah, you might know the area.
So Barbara Bradley from Pan Pacific Interiors is an expat that her and her husband, and they have partnered with a couple from South Africa, have built this amazing cabinet maker company here in Cherokee.
Yeah.
And they sell, they have this great business, a factory, employ tons of Panamanians, and they're just a great couple. And what an expat will do, if you look at my blog, I wrote last week about businesses, and they're featured in it. And this is Barbara's sister talking to me right now. And yeah, so if you want to, if you come here or if you live here, Pan Pacific Interiors, they do quality kitchen, bathroom, any type of shelving, cabinetry.
You know what? When we do the video, there is gonna come up soon. I was so happy and proud that they were just teaching so much of the cool stuff to Panamanians and creating that part of the evolution, you know, the knowledge and just their expertise, high quality furniture and customized. So we highly recommend this company for sure.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, this guy here, Google Oscar on the Streets on YouTube. You'll find out what he is. We also do promotion. We promote local companies in Panama, expats and Panamanians that have built companies. And we also have a program called Oscar on the Streets Gives Back, where once a month we do a feature presentation on a charity. We mostly work right now in Cherokee because that's where we live. And we're doing one next week on who?
We're trying to do one with Rotary Club and Boquete.
Yeah.
Because there is a problem with the public education system. So they're trying to get a fundraising event to buy tablets for the kids that haven't been able to get access to online education. Local companies, cell phone companies, are willing to provide full data package for free. So one of the features of my videos we're gonna promote is to how to sponsor these kids that need those tablets. So hopefully we're gonna promote it on our website.
Yeah. So right now we're not back in school. The government has provided free internet through the cell phone companies. We have some great government-private partnerships in Panama.
Yeah.
So so Oscar's going to do a promotion for Rotary in Cherokee about raising money for more tablets for the kids that just don't have the right device to get their schooling on. So in the future, with retiring in Panama, watch out for Oscar on the Streets Gives Back. Just wanted to throw that plug in.
Woo.
So, okay, back to questions.
Yeah. All right. Craig is asking if we can talk a little bit about car rentals, price, and insurance.
Okay.
You know better that one.
That's an ugly one. Somehow the insurance companies lobbied the government years ago in Panama and won. You cannot use a credit card for basic insurance on car rentals here. It costs $25 a month. Give up the fight. Don't even bother when you're at the counter, because when you go to Alamo and you book your car online, oh, I got a car for $5 a day. No, you don't. You arrive at Panama, it's $30 a day because 25 is insurance. Then you say, my credit card covers it. It doesn't. Credit cards, no credit card. I don't care if you have the black American Express. It will not cover you here for the basic insurance. Basic insurance is $25 a day, 28 on some of the SUVs, and 30 something on the vans here in Panama. So if you want a mid-sized SUV in Panama, you're paying $45 a day. Deal with it.
Yeah.
So you'll get a discount by weekly and monthly. That's the gist of it. I fought it for 10 years.
And the good news is that Panama, the prices of car rentals and insurance is very more friendly than other countries in Latin America.
Yeah.
So,
and if you want to use your credit card for all the other types of insurance, the windshield, stuff like that, you can. But they usually try to put the entire price of the car on your credit card.
What about Keith Wolford and Cowboy?
Well, Keith sells Cowboy rents cars here.
Is there a problem with insurance there?
Yeah, no, they actually include the insurance. That's why Keith is $35 a day for a car.
No, Keith, no, Cowboy. Keith doesn't rent.
Sorry, Cowboy.
Right.
I got that confused.
Yeah.
Keith sells cars. Keith is a car broker here in Boquete. Cowboy Dave is a car rental guy. They're both expats.
Oh, well, Keith used to, I think, rent. But anyway, I'm out of date. I miss Panama.
I'm pretty sure Panama missed you.
Okay, Megan, what's next? We got a bunch of questions before we put out. We only have this call for another 12 minutes.
Dave, don't go.
So
Dave,
you might
don't
want
go.
to scan questions to see if any have been answered before.
Quick answer to Patrick: you don't need shots when you fly in.
Yeah.
When to arrive before our tour? Everybody usually arrives on Thursday, and we kick off the
Yeah,
tour.
if you have a
Friday
tour
morning.
with me, you'll start hearing from me 60 days out, and you'll get tired of me before the day before.
Yeah.
You'll know when to come here. And if you want to come early, we can coordinate. If you want to stay late, we'll coordinate too.
Either, we got you.
Deborah's asking about Carnival in 2021.
Woohoo!
We kind of doubt that's going to happen.
It might not.
We'll see.
If it might happen, they will control the crowds. They will probably do more.
If there's any place in the world that's a petri dish, it's Panama's Carnival.
Yeah. I think
It's a fun place, though.
From a personal perspective, this a lot of people in Panama right now are a little bit skeptical and scared about, because supposedly Carnival, the people didn't want it to happen when this pandemic was about to start.
Yeah.
So
it
the
was
next
right at that time.
Yeah, the next Carnival, I highly doubt it. A lot of people are gonna push that to happen or to assist to it.
We'll probably even have a quiet November. Panama has 5 national holidays in November. It's ridiculous. Several Independence Days, parades, all that stuff. I think it'll be quiet this year.
Yep. Or maybe not.
All right, we've got a good question from Barbara, which we had a lot of speculation about in the beginning of this whole lockdown. Do you feel there will be any increase in crime due to shutdowns, desperate times, desperate people?
Oh, I wish our friend was here.
Yeah,
Yeah, but this has been a fear from months ago. And the only situation, you correct me, Rod, but Panama hasn't have that issues. I mean, we haven't had that any of those breakdown.
Crime rates have gone down.
No, it actually went down.
Yeah, we've had major decrease. The only thing up we've had is people breaking quarantine to have fun.
Yeah.
And they get a $50 ticket.
Exactly.
So we get 600 of those every day. But they're not rioting. They're not breaking into homes. As far as home invasions, murders, sexual assaults, all that stuff, we're really down. Like the police force, honestly, the reporting here in Boquete, they really don't have a lot to do. It's been that quiet during Carnival.
The sense of community is so beautiful. Like actually, everyone is taking each other.
Are you able to answer a question about visas?
Yeah,
sure.
Okay, we plan on opening a business down there, like a B&B.
Okay.
Now, should we go in under the Friendly Nation visa in order to do that? Or should one of us do the Friendly Nation visa and Bill go under the Pensionado?
Yeah. Here's the thing, guys. It's only $500 more for they call it dependent here. I hate that word. So for the spouse. So you don't want to get 2 visas. It'll cost you a fortune. And don't worry about the pensionado discounts, because when a woman turns 55, you're a ways away from that, I know. And a man turns 60, everyone gets the discounts. You don't have to be on a pensionado to get the
Well, I was more about the import fees, because Barb was saying that if you bring a container down under the Pensionado visa, you don't have to pay
import fees.
But if you bring a container down under the Friendly Nations, then you have to pay
It's about $10,000. You're allowed to bring in duty free. It'll save you $1,000. The extra visa will cost you $2,000. It's not worth it.
Okay, so just come down on the Friendly Nation then.
Yeah, you need
that'll
patients
cover
that-
us for work and everything.
Work in the B&Bs. You want your you want your work visas.
And if you want to do that to save that money in the pensionado, the time, the money you have to spend to prove that you're pensionado, it's not worth it.
Yeah, no, it
It's just
costs
not worth it.
Okay, so just do the
$1,000 in duties.
And once you do that, either we have the contacts to do importation in the containers, so we're more than happy to fair rate, responsible. It will take care of your assets.
And your duties cost you about 10%.
Yeah.
But I'll just give you a bunch of things to list it as that aren't dutiable. It's not like used stuff.
Okay.
You really don't value it high. So,
Mm-hmm.
so you'll probably be well under $1,000 duty on a container.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
One other question. We were supposed to be getting married Saturday, but due to COVID, we had to postpone our wedding. So now, should we wait until we're married to apply for the visa together?
Yes.
Or
because it only costs you $500 more for the spouse. Otherwise, they both have to get them.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Okay, so
let's look at the numbers. These are approximates. $5,000 for a friendly nations for one person. $500 for the spouse.
Gotcha.
If you come in as singles, it's going to cost you $10,000 to get 2 friendly nations.
Right.
And what you need is the original marriage certificate where you're going to have in your hand the day after you got married. You get that.
Will we need our divorce certificates to go along with that marriage certificate? Because I know some places.
No, it's just the marriage certificate.
It's just a marriage. Just a marriage. They don't look back at your past. They only look at your present.
Yeah.
So
it's who you're currently married to.
You know,
wish more people did that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know that. But just get married, and we can do a party here to celebrate the wedding.
Yeah, there we go.
Yay, go team!
We'll have a Zoom.
Well, I think we're just going to run off to the courthouse and just quickly do it before we come in December, January.
What about destination wedding?
Yeah, you need to choose the lawyer before. If Barbara has someone for you, fine. If not, I can give you a referral to. Just go to that Panama expat service site, because you're going to have to get that marriage license authenticated. You're going to have to bring some documents with you, so you're not going. You know, your FBI checks, your last 2 years of tax returns, all that stuff that you need to apply.
Okay.
So just be prepared when you come here, so you're not going back and forth.
Okay, well, I'm sure I can get your WhatsApp number from Barb, so you may be hearing from us.
Or just from our website. All our numbers are on the website. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Perfect.
Alrighty, a question for Oscar, definitely from
Where?
Ron. Are there biking trails in Boquete?
James, yes, we do have biking trails.
Yeah, it's called a traffic lane.
If you're into the mount, depends. If you're looking to extreme mountain biking, there is nothing precisely done. I would just say go with the flow. You can go with me because I do a lot of mountain biking, so we can go together. We can cross some private farm. Sorry, I should not say that.
Yeah.
But you know, basically, it is a way to do mountain biking, and if you do road biking or mountain bike, like there is some circuits you can do up hills, downhill, that can show you some of the areas you can do a little bit more rough areas. There we have plenty of options for sure.
Okay, I need Megan to pick the last question.
Oh.
Then we get a copy of this list. So I'll send out. I'll answer any other questions that are haven't been answered today. Then I'm going to share the link of the February tour, because I don't want us to get cut off in 4 minutes before.
Yes,
that
I know.
happens.
Yeah.
I know there's a 5-minute grace period, but that's when we all say goodbye.
Pressure.
Yeah, I know.
Gene said we skipped the question about guns. You can bring a gun to Panama.
Gun laws. Okay, you gun lovers. No automatics. You can bring a pistol, or sorry, you cannot bring anything. That's just bad. Once you are a permanent resident, you can apply to bring import 2 firearms. That's it per person. So a couple could bring in 4. They can be long guns. They can be pistols. And there's a whole process. It will be 2 years before you have them in your hands. Now, it can be done. We'll connect you with the person that can do it. It has to be done with a lawyer, if you can believe it. But it really doesn't matter. Even if it costs you $500 or $800 per gun, to buy the simplest $300 Glock here is about $5,000, a used one.
Yeah.
because there are not, it's not, we are not a gun culture.
No.
We do not have more guns than people. We just don't. But some people, in Panama, you have the right to protect yourself in your own home. That's a constitutional right here. And with whatever force is required by your thinking. So neither Oscar and I or Megan are pro-gun, anti-gun, anything. But if that's your thing, if you want to do it, just PanamaExpatService.com. Those are the services we offer there, and we can help you do that. Mm-hmm. Okay, Megan, our last question.
What about Bocas del Toro?
That's
Why
interesting.
is it not on our tour?
Good one.
2-day logistical nightmare.
Yeah. So Bocas del Toro, why we don't include in the tour, because it's a little bit far. So we do an itinerary, little long drive from Pena all the way to Las Lajas. That's long. It's about 5 hours. 5 hours. 4 hours.
Basically, it would just take a while,
yeah.
and it's also, we don't see it as the best retiree destination because of a lack of infrastructure, mostly medical.
Yeah. However, sorry to interrupt, but we will tell you all about it. But Bocas is a beautiful spot.
Yeah.
It is not feasible. It has less benefits than all the areas like in the rest of the country. So it's not feasible depends on your age, depending how active you are, how social you want to be. Bocas might make sense for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to really check out Bocas, if you want to do our tours, we can offer you an extra few days to take you to Bocas or connect you to the best reliable people in Bocas as well.
And we'll fly you out from there.
Yeah, because our tour includes that flight from David back to Panama City. So we've had many people. Oscar and Megan are taking people to the airport in David. I'm taking people to the shuttle because they're going to Bocas for a few days.
Yep.
And then we help them connect with the different activities there, and then they'll take a flight from Bocas back to Panama City.
And we can help you to arrange all that.
Yeah, and our flights included in our tour. So if you want to see Bocas, and we highly recommend, it's a great place. I liked it there. I wouldn't want to live there. But
yeah, it's beautiful. It's just not for everybody. Most of the times it's not for everybody, but it's a stunning place.
We got a countdown clock now on our end.
All right.
So we are going to start saying our goodbyes. If anyone wants to come, February 4th to 11th, I have put the link in the chat. I would suggest you click on it now, open up that window. I will have to shut that link down. It'll go to page can't displayed as soon as if anyone has booked it, or if it has sold out. So I'll be watching that lately because I know. Oh yeah, I see Christine and Gil. So people are already booking it. So if anyone wants that tour in February, it's our earliest tour that you're going to get. Otherwise, come see us in July and August. It's a great time of year.
And I have to say that
any questions we never got to, I'm going to go through the chat list and I'll answer them in the email. You should have it by 1 o'clock tomorrow Eastern with the full replay. If you need to see it back, it was great having everyone on here. I think it was our biggest group so far, so it was great.
Thank you so much for every single of you to take the time, and even the new ones tonight, Karen, Dave, Bridget.
Yeah, and there are, we
John,
see new Panama
Donna.
residents in a few months. We got Donna, we got Dave and Bridget on your front screen there.
Susan is coming with us, I believe.
Karen's going to be here. These people have been on our tours before, and they're still supporting us. They're still here learning about Panama, and we can't wait to have the barbecue on your back deck.
We're going to make some disaster barbecue and the worst margarita, hopefully soon. I'll keep you on top of that. Actually, I'm going to make a full video on the streets about disaster barbecue. Well, I'm doing that.
All right. Yeah. All righty, guys. Okay.
We love you.
Michael, thank you for your help.
I
Christine,
love
thank
you.
you for your support. We've seen
Thanks again, guys.
Carl and John, let us know when you're coming.
Yeah.
I know we got a lot of tours, but I'll come there and pick you up. That's not a problem.
We'll make it happen.
We
Let's
will be
squeeze
there
a
if
day.
they're
I
on
don't
the tour.
care. If I'll go back to back, I'll come get you.
We'll throw you on top of the van if we're already doing a tour.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Right.
Okay, Sherry.
Sherry.
Sherry
Donna.
Smith, Inside Panama. She is the
Maxine.
girl waving that will help you guys with getting your
Yeah.
rentals here. Well, thanks everyone for joining us, and we're going to be ending the call.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Thanks so much for everything.